Well, good afternoon, boys and girls. It's your favourite grumpy granny from Croaky's Patch, and I'm back again today on Wednesday. I had to get my days right because yesterday was the Melbourne Cup. So today's Wednesday, the 8th of November, 2023, with Golden Nugget number 5. And I've titled this one, The Buyer Asked What? Because I've had a couple of doozies today, and I just thought I would share my experiences with you. So here we go. For the first one, I have this book, which is a vintage book, and it is titled Recollections of Three Reigns by Sir Frederick Ponsonby. Ponsonby. Okay, so what this is, it's a book which was written by Sir Frederick Ponsonby, the first Lord of Sysonby. Goodness gracious me. All this stuff. So basically he was like some sort of secretary to the somebody or other to do with the royal court. And so he served 3 different monarchs. And this was published in 1951. This is a 3rd edition. So the query I had was from a nice lady called Gillian, who messaged me after seeing this book that I had listed. And I will just, goodness. Sorry, boys and girls, I was just trying to get everything running smoothly because I want to record this all in one take. And I had the page ready, but apparently I must have, accidentally clicked off it and it's gone onto another page. Anyway, so this lovely lady Gillian messaged me and asked me this. Hi, I'm curious to know whether this book references an event at the Guildhall in London on the 28th of December 1914 involving Queen Alexander, King Edward VII's wife. It was just written 7. Anyway, King Edward's wife, and the giving out of 1,300 medals to the families of serving servicemen in World War I. I'd appreciate it if you could let me know. Regards, Jim. So I left it until the end of the day till I'd gotten all my jobs done. And then I went back and actually had a look at this book to see if I could work out, because I thought it's got an index at the back. So I thought maybe it might actually have a reference in there. And there are quite a lot of references to Queen Alexander in there. There are references to the war, but there's no specific reference that I could find on that specific date. Now, as much as I love history and all that sort of thing, I don't actually have and don't want to spend the next hour like combing this through methodically. And, like if you ring up a bookshop, they're not going to do that either. So what do you answer someone like that asks you a strange question like that back? How do you answer that back? Well, this is what I replied to her earlier today. I told her that I would let her know towards the end of the day because I didn't want her thinking that I was ignoring her message. Then I have messaged her back and said, Hi, Gillian. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to read the entire book, as much of it appears to be, although it appears to be quite entertaining and of interest to any history buff. Give it a bit of a plug there. I wasn't able to find any reference to that specific day in the brief look I had. However, I did come across quite a few references and pages explaining why extra decorations, meaning the war medals, were required and what they were required for. I'm attaching photos of the index so that you can make a more informed decision. Regards, Leanne. So then I've photographed, there are 3 pages of the actual front contents, and I've photographed all those 3 pages because I think there's only one in the listing of that section, and I've sent that off to her, and then she can make a decision whether she wants to buy this little ripper of a book or not. So that was number 1. Now, for my second one, which I had someone contact me about 3 weeks ago asking me, did I have any children's books or such yes, did I have any children's books, especially Australian ones, that featured the Tasmanian thorny devil? And I thought to myself, because I didn't even know there was such a thing, what the thorny devil was, the Tasmanian thorny devil. So I Googled it, had a look, and I knew I had a couple of Australian kids' books and I knew exactly where they were without like looking up anything up. And I flicked through those and couldn't find anything. So at the time I messaged this lady back and I said to her that I was going to be going through some more books over the next couple of weeks and that I would keep my eyes open. And then last night I came across this little book here, which is called Reptiles of Australia and New Zealand. And I'm going to say, I'm thinking it's from the 1970s, even though it actually doesn't seem to have a publishing date in it that I could see. Let me just have another quick look. No, it doesn't. So it's a Jabiru Press book. Yeah, and so it's all about reptiles of Australia and New Zealand. So I started flicking through it last night when I came across it. And I got to the first page, third page, and I opened it up and look what I found. And unfortunately, every page just after that, saying that page didn't have any, but like someone's gone through and scribbled on that all the way through. Well, not all the way through, on a lot of pages. So that was a bit disappointing, but to find references to this thorny devil lizard is quite rare. So normally this would have just gone in the bin because it had all that scribble over it, unless I had a big enough bundle of Australian reptile books, in which case I might have included it. Anyway, I've flicked through this book and I've flicked through this book and all I seem to be coming up with everything else but the thorny devil. And then I get right near the back of the book and what do you know? One of the very few pages, one of the very few pages in the book that doesn't have a single piece of pencil or pen on it. And that just happens to be the page about the thorny devil, the Tassie thorny devil. How incredible is that? Like just about every page has scribble on it, and yet that's the page about the thorny devil and there's nothing on it. Just boggles my mind sometimes, boys and girls. It really does. So I have contacted the lady and I have said to her, so that's not the whole story. So I contacted the lady and I said to her, because I also found this one, which is Steve Parrish, Australian Frogs and Reptiles Project Kit, and it's got things like some stickers and some maps and pictures and things in it. And it did have one of the stickers was the thorny devil. So not terribly exciting, but, I thought, well, hey, it's a reference to it. I didn't know whether they were after something like that or not. So I messaged the lady, and Melissa is her name. Thank you for getting in touch with me, Melissa. And I took some photos of these and this and explained to her that this was, unfortunately a little bit trashed because of all the scribble, and then said, but the one page that you're looking for is not. And I took some photos of the other one too and said, if she was interested, there were two things I could do. I could either hold these to see whether I've got any more, and by the time I go through the rest of the pile of kids' books, or if she wanted them now, if she did want them now, I could send them to her now. Now, Melissa replied back to me and she said, hi, Leanne, what a lovely surprise. Thank you so very much. I'm very interested in the activity book. Is that the only page with scribble? The encyclopedia type book, which she meant was the project kit she wasn't interested in. And then she asked me, and this is the point I'm going to make, could the little activity book be sent as a large letter with tracking? I believe it's about $4 cheaper than parcel tracking. Let me know and I'm keen to purchase. Kindest regards, Melissa. So that actually put me in a bit of a quandary for two reasons. Well, only for one, actually. I send my books as parcels in a padded mailer. And that way I could, and I mean, this is fairly flimsy, and if this is something that's quite rare and special for these people, I would want to be putting cardboard around that and putting it in a padded mailer, not sending it in an envelope where it could get bent and all sorts of things. So I yeah, what do you do there? And if she had have asked for it without tracking, she was asking for a letter with tracking, which, yeah, I didn't think was going to work. But what if she had have asked for it without tracking was the other thing I thought. So I actually thought I would tell you what I messaged her back. Just so you know, because you don't always have to go along with what they want, because that was just something I wasn't comfortable with. So I answered her back and I said, "Hi, Melissa. Let me get back to you tomorrow and I will see what I can sort out. I'll have to do a bit of thinking. I only stock padded mailers to send out my items and I don't ever do untracked postage, so that my customers get the best possible experience when they open their purchases. I want them to receive their items in the same condition as when I package them. I'm not sure I want to lower my standards on that." And then I went along to say that the other one wasn't an encyclopedia, it was a project kit. And then I said, "Anyway, I'll let you know tomorrow what I can do. Regards, Leanne." So that was all fine and well, because I didn't know that I wanted to lower my standards and I wanted to do a bit of thinking. And I had actually decided that I wasn't going to. It had to, if she didn't want it, that was fine. But anyway, Melissa did message me back and she said, "No worries. Totally understand." She said, "A book which travels as letters, I think, still needs to be guided by weight. And since you may add cardboard to protect it, it may not meet the requirements anyway and will need to go as a parcel, which is okay with me too." She said, "I've just had a couple arrive as letters with a TMP number. I don't quite understand it myself, just that it seems a cheaper option when checking out. Kindest regards, Melissa." So that's fine. So I'll message her back tomorrow and explain, and I'll do this. I mean, because this is, all that scribble and stuff. And she wasn't interested in that one, but I think I'm going to just put that one in for her anyway, because it's a little bit of a hard one there, because it's not actually a book per se. So I think, oh, there's a nice little sound coming through. Yeah, I think I may just send that back with her. Send that out with that parcel and send it back. Anyway, so a bit jumbled today because I needed to do this on the fly because I've had a very busy day, boys and girls. I've done lots and lots of listings and I've done lots and lots of revisions and photographs of new items and put them up. And so it's just been a busy, busy day, and I needed to get all my eBay work done before I can do my nuggets, which, was a little bit later today because I did have a big list of stuff that I wanted to get done today. And then I had those 2 funny queries on top, which, that took away a little bit of time. And then there was a little bit of distraction, I do have to say. Yes, there was. I did get distracted a little bit by a couple of things on social media, I have to say. Then I had to pull my head in and come back and get back into it. And so finally, here we go. And I've done it all in one take, and I have no idea whether it's going to be good or bad or otherwise. So you'll just have to put up with it, boys and girls. And there won't be a special intro or anything like that today. And yeah, I mean, I will fix it up later on, but just not right now. All right, thank you, boys and girls. I shall see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. on Octo's channel for our community live. All right, bye now.